So today we are making hot chocolate bombs. We're going to do heart shapes and spheres. So this is for the adult leaders to thank them for being such a help towards the girls. And we have hot cocoa, but we also have coffee. And we don't have access to these, but you can go ahead and get little chocolates that have alcohol in them. To replace that, we're going to go ahead and use these, but you can go ahead and order the chocolates online. So we already started making the heart-shaped ones, and my sister is currently finding the cylinder ones. Okay, so right now I am doing the first layer of chocolate. We have some milk chocolate and also some white chocolate with some peppermint in it. We used in the heart-shaped ones, we put the white chocolate and the milk chocolate. So we're brushing it up against the sides so then it's a whole shape. And we're going to use the parchment paper to make a flat surface for the backs. And for the hot cocoa bombs, you're going to want to do 2 layers. Like this one is a little thin, but that's okay because we're going to do 2 layers. So we put too much. We're just scooping it out of the bottom. It takes up room. And we can go ahead and put this excess chocolate in the second batch. So we're gonna go ahead and do a couple layers with any hot cocoa bomb. You go ahead and do a couple layers so then it can keep its shape because the first layer can be a little thin. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in the freezer or fridge. Hello, I'm Phoenixicans. So right now we're putting chocolates in the molds. I'm gonna get on the other side.
These are much more easier to put on.
Yeah, than the heart ones because it's just a circle. So we're gonna go ahead and put chocolate on that side and the white chocolate on this side. So then whenever it forms, it's half and half.
If you put too much and there's like a big chunk of chocolate on the bottom,
It'll puddle at the bottom.
Will puddle up, so you can just use it for a different mold.
Yeah, so just do thin layers at a time. Do multiple layers. We do 2 to 3 layers just so that it can get all the way.
And you have to be gentle not to push it too far because then the chocolate won't actually stick to the side if you push on it too hard.
No, Mom, that's good. That's all I need. Spread chocolate. Oh, that's good.
Sometimes this can get a bit messy.
You do need to get the chocolate to the edge though, because you need enough to go ahead and melt the circles together. So these are going to go in the freezer as well, and you wait 10 minutes for them to harden.
If you don't like very sugary things, I recommend you get sugar-free chocolates because the hot cocoa and the chocolate the sweetness will combine.
The most important part of making the cocoa bombs is waiting so you can go on your phone and spend time with your sister. I set a timer for 10 minutes, so we have about 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. And with each layer, you gotta wait 10 minutes. So basically, the hardest part is waiting because it's basically 20 minutes of 30 minutes waiting for the hot chocolate to freeze. Okay, so remember how we explained for the hearts that we're gonna have a flat surface? So right now we're gonna do that. We're gonna lay chocolate out. My sister will smooth it.
Take this.
Yeah, that's a lot bigger and better.
Take this and scoop it from that.
We're just gonna make a flat layer of chocolate to go on top of the.
You don't want to make it too skinny so it doesn't melt while you're holding it.
You also don't want to make it too thick, because then the hot water won't melt. It'll take longer to melt.
It'll take longer. That's about big enough for. Now we wait. Now we're checking if it's done. Okay. Wow. They're all done. And it's time for another layer now. Since there's not a lot of pink left, I'm going to use it for the plain pink ones. Then, if your black chocolate's not cooled off by the time your molds are done, you could just put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes. And the other one because there's not enough in here for that. We're putting it in there because there's no more pink left. Because of the fleets on the heart, we have to make the walls extra thick.
So if you take too long putting the second layer in, the first layer will start to melt. So that's why these are a little chunky.
The second layer will start to melt the first layer.
Basically, you only need 3. No, you do need 6.
Okay, so show her how you're taking them out.
I'm just using the bottom and pushing up gently so it doesn't crack. Then I'm gently grabbing these, pulling it off, put it back down, and boom.
You don't want to touch them too much because they don't.
Yeah, so that's why I'm putting them back in the mold. Ooh, that's a pretty smooth mold. Putting it back down so it doesn't melt.
The molds are cold.
There. And now, what you do is you take. That works. 2 of these. Take some cocoa powder. Put it in one. Pour the coffee powder in.
And a lot more. Just then place it down. Oh,
So what do those chocolates represent?
They represent the little alcohol-filled chocolates.
to get these melted, you take a hot plate, put it on to melt the grounds, edges, and then I can't see here. Gently do this, and then put it back in. So, no, don't mess with it until the edges freeze.
Okay, can you just go ahead and fill it up there without pulling them out?
No,
Why?
because
tried.
you can't get the edges on correctly.
We tried the last
We
time
tried
we made
it.
these and failed.
Yeah, it failed. I'm gonna put it in this one.
So what do you do about that chipped edge? Is there some way to fix that?
No.
Well, normally ones with chipped edges would be the tops, and you would just melt it down. But there.
Once these are done, once done cooling again, you heat the seals up so it's more combined, and then they're ready to go.
It's cool.
Those turned out really pretty. If you put it down, your hands won't melt it while you're holding it. Okay, you need the plate first.
No, you don't. It's melty.
Here.
You don't
Just
need
let
it.
her.
Well, some people might.
If it's not melting in your hands from touch, you don't need it. You don't need the plate.
Mimi.
So then you can cut this off. Cut off the extra and wrap up the edges.
Wrap it up.
Almost.